Hi crafty friends, welcome to another video where I use 4 parameters from the latest episode of Craft Roulette. So I got some gray cardstock. I'm doing grungy train colors. I took the train for many years into work, so I thought of the dirty train that I rode every day. I realized then that I didn't have any gray cardstock, so I have to get some. This was sort of in my stash. It has a little sheen to it, which gave me a little trouble when I tried to grunge it up. It was taking the ink very interesting. I don't know how to describe it. So I made it work, but I had to fight with it a little bit. So off to the store I will be to get some gray cardstock. But so I'm using a series of stamps. This stamp didn't work out. Like I said, it was the strangest paper. I guess because it has some sheen to it. That stamp didn't work. So I smushed some more ink on it, and then I got a stencil with some grungy spots that I actually just got. So it was already on my desk. And I used hickory smoke, and I really ended up liking the dots when I moved them around in different ways. And I'm going to put a stamp over it, so I really just wanted to get like a grungy looking paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I'm done making it grungy, this was like a crackle stamp from Tim Holtz, and again, it showed a little. I'm going to then put like a background stamp over it of flowers, because one of the parameters was science. So I thought, I think it's botany, where you study plants and flowers. So I'm going to do a background stamp for that over the grunge paper. I first used, I think, the hickory smoke ink, and it was too light. So then I changed to black Versamat, which looked much better. So here's the gray, I believe. And I had a small hickory smoke, and I didn't like it. So then I used the Versamark black, and I liked that much better. I just stamped it another time, and then see, a third time. And I don't normally have to stamp a third time. This paper was strange. I dried it a lot with my heat tool in between, because it took a while to dry. So I wanted to grunge it up a little bit more, so I got my Tim Holtz watercolor crayons or pencils. These actually worked really well on this paper. I guess because of the coating that's on this paper. I have no idea. I just pulled it out of my paper stash, so I don't know what brand it is. But it had like this sheen to it that really worked well with the pencils. They didn't leave any sort of marks or anything. So I just colored in some leaves mostly to kind of get some dark areas. Now that I think about it, I think I should have colored in all the negative space dark. I think that would have really made the stamp, background stamp, pop a little bit more. But you know, in hindsight, right? Maybe I'll make it again and I'll do it that way. So see there, I have to dry it with, even the crayons needed to be dried on that paper. I really liked those dots, and I don't see them as much anymore. So I decided to go in and make them a little darker and add them in some more spots, because I thought that they looked like kind of cool on top of the flowers. That was like an impulse buy, that stencil, but I really like it actually. It's pretty cool. Just adding a little more grunge, drying it again. This paper took a little bit longer than I had thought. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make some distressed paper, and I just wasn't happy with it until I just kept adding layers upon layers. I have these, I don't know where I got them. I shop at a local craft sort of like used sale. That there's a church that does it, so I go there frequently and just see what they have. So a lot of my stuff I don't actually know where it's from. They don't label it. So then I decided to add some black ink splatter. As you can see, it backed up into my dropper, so I had to go wash that. It's never happened before. It's interesting. So after I get a good amount of splatter on, I'm going to set that to the side to dry, and I'm going to work on my next piece for the card. So the other element, or I should say the element, because that was the random, I think, or was the other way around? I think the random was add a flower. So now I'm going to add a flower. So again, but it has to be train colors. So I decided to do another grunge layer. This time, instead of it being the gray to the dark, I went white, and then added the grunge to the top of this. And then I'm going to fussy cut it out and put it on top. You'll see in a couple minutes. So I added some more of the Tim Holtz, since they were out, watercolor, just to give it a little more grunge. Sort of the same exact thing I did to the first layer for the card, except I used a water pen to kind of smooth, because this isn't the same cardstock, so I needed to move the pencil around a little bit. So I just got an aqua pen, and I'm gonna add the same like mark text. They don't even, you can't even read them. They're like little like distressed dots almost. And I'm adding that in, I was going to use, I think, Lost Shadow, but I decided to use Hickory Smoke because Lost Shadow was too light. And just filling in some of the blank spots. And then I wanted to take away a little bit of the white, so I use that stencil again, and now I'm going to add some splatters. Careful not to back it up into my dropper again, because that's just clear water. And then I let it dry, and now I'm going to fussy. I let it dry for, I used the heat tool for a couple minutes because I wanted to make sure that it was nice and dry so I didn't smudge it, because I have a habit of smudging ink, especially black ink. I'm kind of a messy crafter. So I'm fussy cutting this out. I'm getting much better at it. I tell you, the more you do it, the better you get at fussy cutting. I don't hate it as much anymore. Especially with the price of dyes, I'm like, challenge accepted. I'm no longer going to buy dyes for the most part, and I'm just going to fussy cut everything out, because I know that some manufacturers even saying they might not get dyes anymore for a while. So everyone needs to learn to fussy cut. So now I'm just gonna, I use some black soot on the edges of both pieces. And then the next thing, so I have my train colors, I have my flower, I have my science, but now I have to do the gift card. So this I did completely, didn't follow anything. I just kind of tinkered along to add a little pocket on the inside of my card where you can slip a gift card. So I'm just kind of messing around with the size. I decided it needed to have like a little pocket shape so that a card would fit. So I'm scoring 1/4 of an edge on each. But then it's a little bulky, so I decided to trim some of it off, which I trimmed in the wrong direction, as you can see. And then I figured it out and went the other way. But like I said, I didn't follow any instructions. I don't have any die cuts for this. I was 100% winging it. And I'm really proud to say it ended up working out. So I'm just kind of snipping here and snipping there, and trying to work through where I want to stick it. And if I think it'll work, I decided to trim a little more off, because the bottom of it, I didn't want to add another little like extra piece, because I didn't have that much cardstock left, because it's the same cardstock from the front. So I was trimming it off so it would lay flat. It actually really worked out well. So now I'm hearing everything. I decided not to use double stick tape because of the sheen on the paper. Sometimes the double stick tape doesn't stick. So I am using Barely Art glue, which I think I've decided I like better than glitter art glue. I have both. I'm going to use them both till they're gone. But when it's time to reorder, I think I'm going to go with the Barely Art. And just stuck it down, got rid of the excess glue, and then there's my card. Thanks so much for watching. Have a crafty day.